Here's a question. If you wanted to get rid of venomous snakes in a city, what would you do? The British colonial government in Delhi had exactly this problem in the 19th century. The city was overrun with cobras. People were being bitten regularly. It was a genuine public health crisis, and the government decided something had to be done about it urgently. So they came up with a plan that seemed, on the surface, completely reasonable. They would offer a cash bounty for every dead cobra brought in. The more cobras killed, the fewer cobras on the streets. Simple, logical. A clean market solution to a messy biological problem. What could go wrong? Quite a lot, as it turns out. At first, people across Delhi started hunting cobras in earnest. The bounty payments went out. Dead snakes came in. The government felt pretty good about things. The numbers looked promising. Officials congratulated themselves on a policy well designed. But then someone had a better idea. Why go out hunting wild cobras? Dangerous, time-consuming, deeply uncertain work, when you could simply breed them yourself. Set up a cobra farm at home, grow as many as you need, collect the bounty on each one, and repeat indefinitely with very little effort and considerable profit. And that's exactly what people did. Across the city, residents were quietly breeding cobras in their homes and backyards, collecting steady government payments, running what was effectively a very niche and genuinely terrifying small business operation. When the government eventually figured out what was happening, they scrapped the bounty program entirely. Problem solved, they assumed. Except here's where it gets truly painful. With the bounty gone, the farmed cobras had no monetary value anymore. So what did the breeders do with thousands of now completely worthless snakes? They released them. The city ended up with significantly more cobras than it had when the whole program began. The policy specifically designed to eliminate the problem had actively, catastrophically made it worse. The government's solution had become the problem. This is the Cobra Effect. What happens when an incentive designed to solve a problem accidentally rewards the exact behavior that makes the problem worse? And before you write this off as a quirky colonial-era blunder, this same pattern shows up everywhere, across every era, in almost every system humans have tried to manage. In Vietnam under French colonial rule, there was a rat bounty. Proof of kill was a severed rat tail. People started cutting off tails and releasing the rats alive to breed more. Tailless rats began appearing across Vietnamese cities in steadily growing numbers. In the United States, some hospitals were penalized financially for high rates of patients being readmitted shortly after discharge. So certain hospitals began keeping patients longer than was medically necessary before releasing them, technically solving the readmission metric while completely missing the point of the policy entirely. In education, schools judged purely on standardized test scores sometimes narrow their entire curriculum down to only what's being tested, producing students who perform well on paper and struggle badly everywhere else. Every time someone designs an incentive, somewhere out there, someone is already quietly working out how to game it without technically breaking a single rule. And here's the deeper problem. The people gaming these systems usually aren't villains. The cobra breeders weren't evil, they were rational. They looked at the incentives placed in front of them and responded completely logically. The system communicated that breeding cobras was valuable, so they bred cobras. You would probably have done the same. The Cobra Effect isn't really about bad people making bad choices. It's about what happens when the thing you measure becomes a target, and in doing so, stops being a useful measure of the thing you actually cared about. Goodhartslaw puts it simply. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So the next time someone proposes a neat, simple solution to a complicated problem, ask yourself one question before you celebrate. What happens when people start optimizing for the reward instead of the goal? Because somewhere out there, someone is already building a cobra farm.